are spontaneous movements brought to the person by the Kundalini consciousness. You will wake up in bed in yoga postures. You won't remember how you got into them. Okay? This is a real deal. This is something that really happens. It's happened to me. It's happened to other people. It's a classic Kundalini symptom. The Kriya can manifest in positions that are very, very strange and quite difficult that you may not have normally been able to conjure up. And if you look at some of the classical Kundalini yoga postures, those postures are taken from people who are being observed having Kundalini Kriyas. And a group of the Sikh people came up and decided hundreds of years ago, if we do these movements, we can become exalted with the divine goddess within us, not realizing that there are so many levels of refinement. And so they created the Kundalini Yoga system based upon the Kriyas observed, classical Kriya phenomena observed. And they expanded upon that. They added religious, spiritual applications, everything from diet to recitation of sacred verses, the whole bit. And this has evolved into what we now have as Kundalini Yoga, as introduced to the West by Yogi Bhajan. You can awaken Kundalini that way. It's just not a complete way. Because you're really only dealing with postures and the expectation of receiving something from the posture. Once again, as Sarkis so clearly communicated, the more expectation you have, the less is going to happen. You have to have trust. You have to have trust. You do the practice. You trust in the divine within. You don't have expectation. You don't try to sculpt it. You don't try to direct it. And she will come. She will blossom within you. You'll get shocked. You will get shocked. Look at it this way. Science has determined that each cell has the equivalent electrical potential of 1 volt. Okay. So if you were to strip a cell of its electricity, it would equal 1 volt. Not a lot, but that's a lot for one tiny little cell. The human being has somewhere onward to 17, 19 trillion cells. 17, 19 trillion volts of potential. You are walking power stations. You have so much energy. And then when you add Kundalini into the mix, it will magnify that beyond our conscious cognitive ability to measure it. How many times can you say infinity, trillion, trillion, trillion plus infinity, trillion, trillion, trillion? How, you can't quantify it really within this dimension. And so you'll have some electrical experiences, and they're not bad. They may not be comfortable, like he said, it felt like a cattle prod. But your body is literally being rewired. Let's just use a car analogy right now. Your body's running on a 12-volt car battery system. So all your wires, all your fuses, all the circuitry is geared towards that 12-volt current. With Kundalini, it turns it into a 12 million volt current. Current wiring won't handle it. The wiring that you have before Kundalini won't handle it. So what does the divine goddess do within you as you're coming up to that expression point? She rewires you. She rewires your energetic physiology to the point where you can have and hold the Kundalini energy. She will not give you the Kundalini energy in its full expression right off the bat. It will feel that way because it's just so powerful. She'll give you little increments and a little more and a little more. And throughout the rest of your life, you'll be receiving a little more, a little more, a little more. And you'll be receiving information that is consistent with the level of awakening that you're being given. The left big toe and toenail will often turn black. It's not damaged. It doesn't need to be amputated. It's fine. It's just black. It's turning the color of the soil that you've been buried in for so long as your seed germinates. Okay. It comes back to normal. Just fine. But you can use that as a clear indication of what is occurring. Unless you stubbed your toe, or the horse stepped on your toe, or the car drove over your toe. Those don't count.
Mine's right toe. Is the Kundalini?
You have top down. Different.
It's different.
Different. You have top down.
Oh, my activation is different.
People can have a top down awakening. Basically, where the awakening starts at the top and moves through the levels of density, going from finest to more dense, more dense, more dense, more dense, more dense, more dense, and so forth. Those are typically devotional awakening. Many of the cultures would call them mystical awakening. And anybody who is of a severe nature involved in the devotion of their religion can have this happen. Some of the people that have severe devotion to Christ, to Mary, to God, the Holy Trinity, if you're a Catholic, whatever. That can initiate a top-down awakening or a heart-based awakening first, where it awakens here first and then travels the densities going this way. Okay. There are different ways for the awakening to take place. I prefer the base to the spine awakening for teaching purposes. You go from the most dense to less dense, less dense, less dense, finer, 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 and so forth. For teaching purposes and for activation, Shaktipat purposes, I feel this is the healthiest model, and that is the model that I've been given to give to people. Something Tony said a while back, I forget when. It's a Tony thing. This is a life-changing seminar. This is not a workshop. This is not a new concept. It's like, oh yeah, as you're having Coke with your friend outside the cafe. Yeah, I did Kundalini last summer. It was all right. I liked it. But I'm going to get into astronomy next year. Okay. It's not like that. It never goes away. It changes your life. What you have been is going to be changed into what you are here to become. You'll still be a PhD. You'll still be a dancer and a singer. But you'll have an exaltation behind that will lift you higher and 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 higher. Okay? And it will help those around you, those who come to you, those who interact with you, be lifted higher and higher into infinity. Okay? You are a helpful person. You are a helpful person. You are all helpful people. It's no accident that Kundalini has come to you. As we give, so do we receive. As we receive, so must we give. That is a complete circuit. Just like the sacred marriage right here. A complete circuit. So I do want you to begin, all of you, to open your hearts up. Open your hearts wide. Surrender completely to the Kundalini within you. Leave nothing out.